Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Sunday edition, Sunday dinner. Today we're making paella. I was originally going to make a roast, and then I changed my mind. And then I debated about not doing anything at all, and then I changed it to this because this seemed like something we could get done. So we'll see how it goes. I've never made paella before. I have had it, and it's delicious. So we'll see what we can do. This lemon is going to be for serving later. I just want to go ahead and get it cut now because we've got vegetables and chicken to cut on here. So I just want to kind of get stuff done in a way that we don't end up with a ton of raw vegetable or, needing to come back after it's been contaminated. Ooh. Just going to wipe off this lemon juice real quick. Okay. So, finely diced 2 medium onions. Easy enough. You guys see everything? Let's try moving that a little closer. There we go. American viewers out there, tomorrow is Memorial Day. Well, it's the unofficial start to summer. Schools should be open this weekend. Not so cool, but why people like it. So the thing we're right now, at least we're getting ready to start with, is sofrito, which is essentially going to be our we're basically going to cook them in sweet, reddish brown flavor or color flavoring. And red pepper. Nice on this. I should have put something down to keep the. So we are doing 2 onions. The first medium ones. requires fairly constant stirring. It's just a little things because technique. Uh, is it's got a crazy delivery. Vegetable and in this pan that's cooked down, and then your rice to the top, and then your meats, shrimp, whatever, all of the stuff, water, whatever, stock, chicken stock. I'm sure you could use shrimp stock or down, and you're trying to get this very to the the word is now uh, to that thing is what we're hoping to avoid, but having never done this before, try and see how we. I think a lot of it is making sure you don't shout in. This is the biggest one I have. So we're going to try something new, learn from the experience. And if we fail, we will learn them. But yeah, one of the big things to do for that is to rotate because you have hot on your oven or hot on your stove top. Then rotating it helps to more evenly distribute the heat. Therefore, you're not getting one area and burns it. You're moving it around and hopefully trying to keep things relatively even. Where you cook it either from what I've read, in the oven tends to cook up with is what you really. All right, medium over medium high heat. Going dish out, keep it in spot, keep it in place. So I use this cutter very often. Those did not get trimmed much, so I'll go next little bit. Okay. My little garlic cloves. I'm trying to get the outside off. I believe these also double check. 3 cloves minced. Outside there. This recipe ends up not being particularly close to like yeah. I am following a recipe off Serious Eats with sometimes. I don't have bone in on chicken thighs. I have just normal chicken thighs. I'm telling you, the first thing in the world be like, hey, your garlic after you've started because it burns. But go with it. All right. Need a nice olive oil. I swear, it smells. How much you do it? Medium-ish heat to start with. Leave this over. Using a spatula. Being 25 and block. Oh, it's freeze-dried. That's two-thirds. Excuse me. My sea sounds together. Apart. Okay. So, 2.5 cups of chicken. What's that? Oh, how do I do this? Alright. So, here's my saffron. Sweet paprika. Season lightly with salt. A little bit of salt. Cook, stirring until vegetables have released their liquids or beginning to brown lightly on the bottom of the pan, about 6 minutes. Lower heat, cooking, stirring repeatedly until the sofrito is sweet to taste and a deep golden brown. So we are still at the try and get some browning going. So yeah, this is a good check with paella. We truly are uncultured, Grant. Paella is a Spanish rice dish um, where you make this thing called a sofrito, which is what we're doing right now, which is a mixture of like aromatic vegetables. You cook it down until it gets like deeply brown and flavorful and sweet, and then you add um, stock to it along with some very special short grain rice. Um, and then you add usually seafood or some sort of meat, chicken, chorizo, sausage to the top of it, and then you let it cook open face, usually on a fire or a grill or something very hot. And as the rice cooks down, it'll develop this very like crispy texture on the bottom, but be light and fluffy on top. I've had it one time in my life at a tapas restaurant here in town, and it was amazing. However, it was like a 45-minute wait for it to be made. And they sell special paella pans to do this. But I don't think I'm going to make it often enough to warrant a special pan, especially when cast iron or a steel pan can do it just as well. Sounds absolutely bussin'. Yes, it's going to be shrimp and chicken thigh, which I'm personally not a big chicken thigh fan, but I was worried that if I went with chicken breast has a tendency to overcook, and you essentially can't overcook a chicken thigh, or it's extremely difficult to. So I went with a safer bet. And then I figure, worst comes to worst, if I don't really like the chicken thigh in there, I can just pick it off. Because I definitely like the shrimp. So yeah, this is a mixture of red bell pepper, yellow onion, and garlic. And essentially, this is going to cook down to about a cup worth of mixture. And it's going to get very, very sweet and earthy. And it'll be very delicious. I know most people would disagree with me, but think of like a souped up like Spanish rice. I'm sure I offended a lot of people with that description, but I originally was going to make a roast beef with gravy and mashed potatoes, but I decided to go ahead and prep that, and then I'll do it tomorrow. I've got it trussed and salted and peppered in my fridge, trying to let it dry as much as possible to get a nice crispy skin. Plus, it needs about an hour or two to come to room temperature, and then it needs an hour or two to cook. Plus, all the other stuff would take a while. So I figured it was better to do that tomorrow instead of eating dinner at like 7 or 8 o'clock. Yeah, we are just trying to get this starting to go, and then we'll turn the temperature down and take it low and slow. We just don't want to burn the garlic. That'll add a nice bitter taste. Well, it's not nice, but it'll add a bitter taste for sure. Hey, bud, you want to go outside? You want to go potty? Come on, bud. Come here. Come on. A little quicker. Keep her coming. Come on. All right, now we're starting to get that liquid releasing. How long will this take to cook down? The sofrito? Um, it's about 6-ish minutes till you start to get a brown because we're on medium heat. I'm a little less because these stainless steel pans that I have are really good at, like, medium heat is almost high heat for them. So about 5 to 6 minutes till we start get a little bit of browning and like this moisture is starting to evaporate. After that, we turn it down low, and it's about 20 to 30 minutes of like fairly consistent stirring for it to just essentially get color and cook down. And that's half of the whole thing is just doing that. Because then it's cook the chicken thigh, which will be pretty quick. And then it's adding this back, the stock, the rice, the paprika, and the saffron. And essentially just letting it come to a boil. And then reduce heat to low and let it cook down. And then as it's cooking down, we'll add the shrimp back to the top and then flip those about 8 minutes. And then it's just about moving the pan around to make sure we're getting all the hot spots. And then once the liquid is essentially cooked off, we're done. It's a very interesting thing. And if I burn the bottom, which is the scare, then I've ruined it. It's still edible, but it's going to have a particularly not great bitter taste to it, which is not what I want. We want like a golden brown. Anything from golden brown to not black. Oh, yeah. If you burn it, it'll be a major L, yes. But I won't know if I've burned it until it's done. So we're going to go through the whole process, and we're going to try and learn and shoot for the stars. If we screw it up, then we'll take what we've learned and try again some other time. I actually think Morgan would like this if I did it without shrimp. Because I originally had looked up a recipe very similar to this, and it had suggested making your own like shrimp stock and using that instead of like a chicken stock to add more flavor. And I was worried. I was like, there's no way Morgan would like that. I mean, I'd love it. I think it'd be fantastic, but knowing her, it'd be too fishy. But everything other than just like adding shrimp to it should be fine. She should be fine with that. So if we screw it up, we'll try again, and we'll do more like chicken and maybe some sausage next time. I'm also trying to debate on whether I want to add some frozen peas to it, because I have had it. When I had it, it had peas in it. I've seen some recipes that had peas in it. I think it'd be a nice touch of green. Plus, frozen peas cook pretty much instantly. Turn off on me, huh? There we go. All right, hold on. Let me go grab the dog. You staying out? Okay. We're definitely starting to get some color. A lot of the moisture is starting to have evaporated, which is good. I'm pretty sure that moisture is helping the garlic not burn. But you can already tell that the size of this is already cooked down like a considerable amount compared to just the pile of vegetables. There's a lot of moisture. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the temperature down a little bit, because we're trying to go for a nice golden brown color. We're already starting to get some nice. It smells good already. I love sauteing onions because it just makes your mouth water. And like when I originally had thought about doing this tomorrow, I figured it'd be like a good start to the summer thing, because most people consider Memorial Day like the start of summer. The pools open up. Most people are out of school. Although it doesn't feel much like summer right now, other than like it's 80 degrees. 85 today. We had this really good storm come through yesterday that just knocked out the power for about 4 hours in the middle of the night. And man, our neighborhood's trees got knocked over. Saw a couple of wooden fences knocked down. This is like the third storm like this in a row that we've had. Like when I got up to let the dog out, and we had like multiple neighbors, like patio furniture in our backyard. Like the pillows, the actual like wicker furniture. Whenever I see that, I'm just glad it doesn't hit our house or like those 2 new trees we put back there. I'd hate to have to replace them. Not even 4 or 5 months old. I got some chicken thighs and Carolina Reaper brine to slap on the grill. Oh, Red, that sounds great. Did you make the Reaper sauce, or is it something you found? Because I know you like to plant stuff like that. Sounds delicious. I grew the Reapers, and my friend has been lacto fermenting them for like 8 months now. Oh man, have you tasted the sauce? It's got to be good. That's something I've thought about playing around with, is making my own hot sauce from time to time. I have like a pineapple cayenne sauce that I've tried, and I am obsessed with it. I don't get to put it on as much stuff as I'd like, and I love to like. I always like kind of like fruity ones where they add something. So I'd love to play with like some papaya and some other things. So I made a regular brine and added a few splashes of the Reaper brine to it. Yeah, you could use it as a pepper spray. Ooh, it's got cloves of garlic in it, though. It's pretty good. I like it. Oh, that sounds fantastic, man. You'll have to let me know how it comes out. I'm sure it's going to be wonderful. Are you just going to eat them like normal, or are you going to make a like grilled chicken sandwiches? Honestly, that would go good with some like coleslaw. Try and cut some of that heat with the like fat and cream from the coleslaw creaminess. I'm hoping it'll be a little bit like Popeye's spicy chicken. It's got the bone in it, so I'm gonna eat them like normal. Okay. Skin on? Are you gonna get some nice crispy skin, or a skinless bone in. That's kind of hard to find around here. I couldn't even find skin on boneless. I went looking today for this. Right now, I'm planning on tater salad. Oh, that'd be good too. Hey, the child, how you doing? Welcome back. Hell yeah, crispy skin. That boy. You guys paella fans? Have you guys ever had it? I've only had it once, and it was within the last like year and a half. We have a pretty nice restaurant here in Kansas City that does tapas. We don't have a lot of restaurants like that, but they're well known for their paella. It had a little bit more in it than I would like. Like it had octopus, clams, mussels, shrimp, and chicken. No, sorry, no chicken. It was just vegetables. Or not vegetables. Why am I saying vegetables? Fish and seafood. I had to find somebody who was willing to split that with me. I ate the mussels, he ate the clams and octopus, and then we shared the shrimp. My wife won't touch any of that. Good, good. This looks good so far. Onions and pepper, yes sir, it's awesome. I think I've had it once. It sounds good. Yeah, this is the sofrito, which is like the most important step. Well, it's not the most important. It's like the second most important. This is a mixture of two medium yellow onions, finely diced, and one red bell pepper, finely diced. No seeds, just the skins, and 3 cloves of garlic. You essentially just trying to get this to start being a little cooked down to about a cup or so, and start getting a nice golden brown without burning. And then from there, I'm going to cook my chicken thighs real quick in the pan, and then we will go for the rice. I'm really hoping we can get the crispy bottom without screwing it up. Yeah, it's the Spanish mirpo, basically, yeah. Did you get the bomba rice? This is not bomba, this is arborio, which I've heard is a good alternative to bomba, because I couldn't find bomba to save my life. But I looked up what would be good paella rice, and this is the only one I could find. Yeah, that makes sense. What's bomba? It's a special short grain rice that's used in Spain, which is where paella essentially comes from. It's like the rice they use, but as long as you have some sort of short grain rice, that kind of can stand up to being hit with high heat, then it'll do the job. Tomato paste. I need to get out my tomato paste. What I was telling the other guys is arborio is used for risotto. I think bomba is the type of short grain rice for paella. Interesting. Yeah, but it's you can kind of use them interchangeably. when that's all you've got. Because I mean, it was like that or sushi rice. You kind of have to keep this moving fairly frequently so it doesn't burn. But yeah, like I was telling some of the other people, the plan is tomorrow is I've got a bottom round that I'm going to do a like roast beef with and do like mashed potatoes and gravy. My plan was to do that today and then do this tomorrow, but after I trussed it up, salt and peppered it, and put it in the fridge, I was like, it's going to take an hour or two to come to room temperature, plus an hour or two to cook, then 30 minutes of gravy making. It would have been like 7, 8 o'clock by the time dinner was ready, which didn't make much sense. But tomorrow I'm looking forward to it because I like a good roast beef carved with gravy. It's like that classic Sunday night meal. I know that's what they have, a Sunday roast in the UK, but I don't think I'm going to try and make that, and then it'll be 8 o'clock, and at that point it's like bedtime. Are you in Casey, Missouri, or Kansas? Yum, I'm feeling so burnt out lately, I've been too lazy to cook. We still have one more month of school up here, and I have to start writing report cards. Ooh. I'm on the Kansas side, but I work over in Missouri, so I spend most of my time over there. But I mean, Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. I mean, it's just on the state line, so you're pretty much. It's 15 minutes to get across from either side, pretty much anywhere. I figured you guys would be on summer break already. You know, a whole other month of work. It's no bueno. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in the Kansas either. Yeah, I had no idea that was a thing until I watched Queer Eye. Oh, yeah. They did a whole season, I think, in Kansas City, Missouri. It's kind of weird. There's like 3 Kansas cities. There's North Kansas City, there's Kansas City, Kansas, and then there's Kansas City, Missouri. Can't keep it easy, can we? It's just due to the fact that the city is on the state line. So it basically just blew up both sides. But if you say Kansas City, most people assume you mean Kansas City, Missouri, because most of it is in Missouri. And I mean, that's where the sports teams are. What class do you teach? Do you teach like high school, middle school, elementary, college? Yeah, I know. Nah, Canada's silly like that. I hear I'm near Toronto, and yeah, we go all the way till June 28th. School ending almost July is madness. Yeah. You guys start back up in August? 'Cause that's when our school started, is like into August. So that doesn't give you a whole lot of time to have a nice summer break. I teach 8th grade remote, which still shouldn't be a thing, but the government Ministry of Education here are ridiculous. We start in September, right after Labor Day. Oh, okay, so that's not like immediately, so you get some time. That's pretty bad. That's pretty good. I'm surprised about the remoteness of it after my sister taught 9th and 10th grade English during COVID, and well, she doesn't do it anymore. She loved it, and then she hated it. Now she found another type of job using her teaching. She writes courses for like a seminar company, but she hated the remote learning stuff. I don't know how you feel about it. She just said it was hard to keep people paying attention, and class wasn't easy. I mean, as a student, I would have loved it, but I don't know how effective it is. That being said, I did take some remote college courses when I went to college, but that's a whole different ball game because, let's be honest, there's a lot of courses in college where they kind of just expect you to learn it yourself. Starting school in August. When does summer vacation start? Oh, you just said that. 8th grade remote after like 4 years of the pandemic. Yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous. 2/3 of my students didn't do anything. That's not surprising. Do they get to pass? I feel like that's a thing here. They passed that no student left behind thing, and it was like impossible to fail or keep kids back, even when they like really needed it. God, I haven't thought about no student left behind in years. Oh, dog wants in. Hey, buddy. You're hot. Go drink your water, bud. Oh. These kids and their dang screens, I tell you. Yeah, the parents don't check in with them. Unfortunately, they are able to move to the next grade, but they can fail in high school. So many kids will drop out. Good old Bush gave us that one. Yeah. Up here, if a student fails a class, they take like a 2-week summer course that changes your grade to passing. It's a joke. Really? Man. Things got easy, didn't it? Too bad they have to worry about the failing economy and every other terrible thing that's going on in the world. But they get through high school now easier. I can't tell you how wonderful this smells. One of my students says it's best, it's the dumbing down of society. You're not wrong. Well, there's got to be some smart people out there. Otherwise, well, how is anything going to work? Although it is interesting how almost every is having a nice decrease in like children. Population growth is decreasing, is what I'm trying to say. Just trying to come up with the right word. It'll be interesting to see where everything goes, I'll tell you that much. Onions and garlic in a hot pan. Only thing better is beef. Apparently, it's useful to have a position of wayward job cycling people out there to be chummed around in low-paying positions. Yeah, smell-o-vision win. India, the one that needs to put a damper on our population growth. I think that probably will be the result. Because, I mean, even China's, like, having considerable decrease. But then again, they also have families not reporting, like, anything past the 2 children limit. Although, I think they got rid of that. I can't say I'm too up to date on all of that. I'll have children when I can afford children and have enough time to take care of them. Never. You don't know, Grant. You could win the lottery. It has been getting up into a couple billion. You know, fairly, not regularly, but a lot more often than I thought it would. So, who knows? Yeah, they got rid of the one-child policy. However, they experience a very large aging population and a significantly smaller younger population. Aren't most first world countries struggling with population growth? Yeah, developed versus developing first world is dated now. Yeah. Yes, Grant, it is. That is the case, and a lot of it comes from. A lot of population growth comes from, like, a multitude of factors. Yapping here, so don't take me as a source, but when you've got families who are, agricultural, they need children, more hands on the farm. When you've got a less agricultural based and, like, technology and production, then it slows down. When you have war and you lose a ton of people, it pops back up. We aren't really needing additional people at home. It's more of people start to believe that a country is in decline when the population rates slow down, because everything's about infinite growth, and you can't have infinite growth. It's not realistic, because there are always limited resources, there are limited people. It's a very complicated, nuanced question. But the more developed you are, the less children you have, it tends to be. There are so many factors that go into it. Yeah, absolutely. I would say we're getting pretty darn close on this, guys. Probably a bit more than a cup, but I also had some bigger onions and some bigger red bell pepper. So it says go for sweet. So let me taste this onion. It's a little sweet. Let's let it go for another 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll go for the tomato paste. Developed versus developing sounds so much better. I'm going to use that from now on. Yeah, no, that does sound a lot better than first world versus third world. Somebody wordsmithed that really well. I would say the worst one, the one I hate the most, is whoever came up with the word influencer and then attached that to like anyone on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, etc. I despise that. I understand where it came from and why they use it, because it sounds a heck of a lot better than just somebody who makes videos. But God, do I hate it. Okay, how much tomato paste do I need? One tablespoon of tomato paste. What even is a second world? I just looked it up. Well, what is a second world? Is it the moon? Is it Mars? Whoop. Oh, the tomato paste. Ooh. I love the smell of tomato paste when it hits the pan. When it starts cooking. First world was countries aligned with the U.S. Second world was countries aligned with Soviet Russia, and third world was basically everyone else. Wow, I never would have guessed that, but I can see why it's out of date now. I suppose that could be relevant if you consider Russia on the same ideological entity, which it kind of is. Yeah, that's not what I thought second and first, third world definitions would have been. I thought it would have been about the level of technology, like countries' wealth, things along those lines. I mean, it kind of is when you think about it the other way. But I guess never just looked at it in that light. Okay. I'm going to move this to another pan or bowl. We're going to turn that on low. My shrimp. Chicken breasts. Chicken thighs. I don't know why I said breasts. I'm going to quarter these. And then we'll cook the quarters. I'm going to go ahead and cook all of these, even though I think it's too much. That's fine. These are tinier chicken thighs than I thought, which is totally fine. Okay. We already have a nice fond developing. Give me a second, I'm washing my hands. All right. Let's season these with a little bit of garlic, salt, and pepper. Keep it pretty simple. Fresh cracked pep. Pretty good looking thigh. Oh, hey, thank you for following Nose TV 976. Appreciate it. I've always assumed it meant something to do with the government economy, with third being the worst. But I'm sure there's an example of third or second being developed nation. Dr. Rich, are you super tall or is that counter just short? I'm extremely tall. I'm 6'8". I don't know what that is in metric, but I'm very tall. gotta tell you, I'm really happy with that color that's coming off of this already. Look at that. I can see that you have your phone set to light mode, you heathen. That's actually my other phone, and that's because that's the cooking instructions. I am short, LOL, only 5'2". You speak French. I do not speak French, but I believe Chow Style may. I'm afraid I only know English, the occasional common Japanese phrase used in anime, which is not enough, which is about 4 words, so not helpful. And I like to pretend that I know German, but I do not know any. My wife took a German class, so I like to say things purposely mispronounced to upset her. But no, I don't speak any other languages. I did take a Spanish class in high school, but that was probably almost 14 years ago. Kimball can barely speak English. I can speak great English. La Jesu Canadien, but my français est très mal. Up here we have to take French from grades 4 through 9. You have to take a year of an additional language in high school. At least I did. I didn't have to. I could have done it with a different elective, but it seemed the easiest to get done. Because I much rather wanted to do other things like the home ec class or technology or drafting. And the other prerequisite instead of a language was like music and band. And I cannot sing, cannot hold a beat, and my voice breaks a lot. So not great for singing. Even though I was in a musical in college, but my singing was so bad I was told to speak the part. I wanted to take German in high school, but there weren't any interested students. Yeah, I would love to take German. Like, I occasionally flirt with the idea of trying to, like, go back to, like, the community college nearby and take, like, a nighttime course, or, like, Babbel, or Duolingo. Like, I had a year subscription for, like, Japanese at one point. And I did it for a while, but I found it kind of tedious because I didn't feel like the pictures matched very well. But then again, I'm also the kind of guy who is going to find an excuse to be mad at something. I wasn't properly motivated, let me put it that way. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Go out and learn it. Well, I kind of replaced that dream with, like, becoming better at cooking. So that's kind of more what this is. And I gotta tell you, I'm enjoying this a heck of a lot more. Yeah. So the recipe for this is boiling hot stock, water, or whatever. So I should probably get that a going. I am going to supplement the stock with a little bit better bouillon, because that is the goat move. Like peanut butter, gosh. Lift the lid over here. All right, so chicken thigh's got a couple minutes, and then we're going to start the whole process. Excuse me. Okay. I don't know why I picked this, but make do, right? You learning Japanese would be the funniest. I love better than bouillon. I am French. You invite me to eat. If you're willing to try something that could be really good or could turn out terrible, then yeah, you are invited. I am particularly nervous about getting the silk rate right on this, which I'm pretty sure I just mispronounced it, but that's the crispy bottom on the rice. Because if I screw that up, then I've ruined it. Chicken thighs, though, equals always better than breast. Okay, I understand that everyone has that opinion. I just am not a big dark meat fan. I would much rather have chicken breast. I just did this because I was worried that chicken breast would get overcooked. You can't really overcook chicken thigh. It's pretty easy to cook, and you can't really screw it up. So that's why I went with this. Plus, it's more common. But I am a chicken breast guy, personally. I prefer breast. I think I'm streaming tonight. I think I'll stream tomorrow night. Shahani Paneer, which is my favorite Indian dish. Is that the one where you make it into the bread, like almost, and then like you put meat in the bread, and then you heat it up like you're doing like a pita or some naan? I'm not 100% familiar with a lot of Indian stuff. Okay, time to pull the thighs, and then we'll start the downhill climb. I gotta tell you though, we flavored the heck out of this pan. Some chicken thigh, so there's some chicken fat in here. We've got the onions, got the bell pepper, we got the garlic, we got the tomato paste. We had some fond, but it's gone. Okay, let's just leave that there. We'll need those a little bit later. Okay. Oh, it says leave the chicken in the pan. Why didn't I read that? Add some saffron and cook. Scraping until well mixed and sizzling. Alright, how much paprika? A 1/4 teaspoon. Fourth teaspoon. Did about 3 things of saffron. Paneer is Indian cheese, and Shani paneer is chunks of that cheese in a creamy tomato sauce. That sounds pretty good. Okay, well mixed and sizzling. We are definitely sizzling. Add stock into a roiling boil. This is a great time to scrape up some of that fond. Don't want to leave that on. Okay. Season lightly with salt. Sprinkle in. Bring to a rolling boil. Okay, once to the boil, then salt. Okay. I'm gonna make it last night, but decided it would be a simplified spaghetti bolognese instead. Hey, nothing wrong with spaghetti bolognese. It still sounds good. What does saffron taste like? Saffron is a very difficult thing to describe, but it's very commonly something that like you can tell is missing, or it just adds a little extra. It's really strange. I don't really know how to describe saffron, other than it's stupid expensive. Like this little baggie was like $14. It's about as expensive as vanilla beans. All right, rolling boil. Saying paneer is good. All those good greasy bits. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the sofrito. So yeah, once we get this to a rolling boil, we're essentially going to add the rice and then the shrimp on top and cook it down, and then we're going to rotate it as we do it, because we don't want any hot spots on this oven or stove to burn any section of the rice, because ultimately we're trying to get the crispy rice on the bottom. All right, let's put it up to a vote. Frozen peas, yay or nay for adding? What would you guys say about adding frozen peas? Something you just got to try for yourself, yeah. You can throw saffron crocuses and harvest 3 pistils of flour. Yeah, absolutely not. So no on frozen peas from one person. What about the rest of you? Yes, peas. All right, it's dead even. Knott's TV, red. Yes from red. All right. Just to discuss Grant. Yeah. Let's see if I have them. Uh-oh, Grant, we had them. All the fresh ingredients just throws in frozen peas. Frozen peas like go in these kinds of things all the time. It's actually a common ingredient. And frozen peas actually hold up better than fresh peas because fresh peas go mushy pretty quickly. Them being frozen is like you're freezing the cheese for your pizza. Although that doesn't work, but you seem to think it does. Season lightly with salt. Forever there is under the impression that if you freeze your cheese before putting it on a pizza, it keeps your cheese from burning. Freshly thawed, yes. This is like when you put ketchup on that last dish you made. Are you talking about the Jamaican beef patties? The ketchup really cut the fatness. With the vinegar, it was a really nice. It worked well. They're flash frozen, so there's no loss of nutrients. Or that Kraft single. That is the recipe is to put the cheese, the Kraft single, in it. Like that is what you're supposed to do. All right, I would say we've hit the point. Supposed to evenly distribute the rice. Okay. Return to a boil, then reduce heat to medium-low. Medium-low. Cook 8 minutes, observing the boiling patterns, and reposition pan over heat every few minutes to give heat to all areas. Alright, so we're going to do this for 8 minutes. And then we're going to move it around because clearly there's like a circle of heat. We're going to try and just like rotate it so that every section gets hit. I'm going to set a timer for 8 minutes though. Okay. It keeps the cheese from releasing its moisture. How does Kraft Singles help? Oh, you're going back to the frozen. Ketchup is not my so-secret ingredient to amp up kidney stir-fried tomato and egg. Yeah, that makes sense. These are hills to die on, and Kraft singles are my hill. Kraft singles are on affront to God, and he cries every time one is open. I like Kraft singles for a basic grilled cheese. Kraft singles were literally made because they're easy to melt. I don't understand why you have such a thing against processed cheese. There's a reason for it. Normal cheese does not melt into a sauce without help. You need emulsifiers in there. Also, nothing beats American cheese on a smash burger. Just get the salts, or toss in a cube of Velveeta. Okay, but salt doesn't do it. It's sodium citrate. It's not technically a salt. It's an emulsifier. And then if you're saying throw in Velveeta, Velveeta is processed. That's literally the same thing Kraft cheese is. Instead of cutting it into a block, they shape it into an already pre-made single. Let's try that. Alright, I need to season my shrimp, sorry. I understand you've got hills to die on, but don't gatekeep food, man. If somebody likes something, let them like it. Yeah. Never gatekeep. Isn't Velveeta also processed cheese? Yes. I have no problem with processed cheese. It's only Kraft singles. Yeah, no, you do have a problem with it, though. You have an opinion on everything. Which is funny, because having been your friend for as long as I have, I know you haven't tried half these things. If you go in with a closed mind, you never learn anything. You got to be willing to try new things. There we go. Trying to get the sides. I don't have a problem with food. It's what people have access to. Yeah, there you go. You know, most of the reason that, like, food rules and, like, variances in regions and all that stuff occur is because people have different things where they are and they try it with different things. It doesn't mean any particular one is more right and more wrong than any other. With Kraft singles. Yeah. It's just funny. Every person I know, if they're making a grilled cheese, the first thing they're going to put on there is a Kraft single. But yeah, I try to keep an open mind on what stuff is. That way I can enjoy. I would say we've done a pretty good job of paying attention to the heating pattern. I do worry that there does seem to be a lot of liquid, so I hope as we continue to do this, it will start to absorb more. I mean, it will. It's rice. That's what's going to happen. It's just... It is specifically Kraft because of the brand or all sliced packaged cheeses. Basic grilled cheese, 2 Kraft singles on white bread with butter. Red, I don't bother buying single packaged ones either, honestly. Bougie grilled cheese, shredded Munster, thinly sliced shallots on sourdough with butter. Sounds delicious. Red, I buy blocks. Nah, just the taste and texture of the single. If I'm doing a cheese board, obviously blocks. Sandwiches definitely sliced. I would never gatekeep, but I'm always going to shit talk Kraft singles. I slice it up myself. I'm going to use whatever makes sense at the time, financially, time-wise. Like, is it going to save me a bunch of time? Is it worth it to go the extra step? Or how much effort I'm willing to go to for whatever it is I'm making. Unfortunately, I feel like I buy a block of cheese, I shred it up, and then I don't use the rest of the block of cheese, and then I'm annoyed that I feel like I've wasted cheese. Whereas if I use a shredded bag, it lasts longer in the bag. That's one of my main things. But if I can plan ahead and get stuff figured out ahead of time, then I'm much more likely to buy a block, because then I'm going to use it repeatedly, and then I don't feel as bad. Okay, there's 8 minutes. Let's start adding the shrimp. I hear you. Spot there. Spot there. All right, I need room for one more shrimp. Right there. All right, we're going to turn those over halfway. And then don't forget we're also still moving things around. Okay, sorry, now that we've got that done. I don't shit talk food because I see kids every day who don't know what their next meal is. Yeah, I understand. I started buying Black Forest ham and slicing it myself too. Where'd you get the full ham? I think it's a way better deal and tastes better. Sounds like a skill issue, Kimball. Nah. Blocks don't have the cellulose. Obviously, if hungry kids only had access to certain foods, I'm not going to be like, hey, you shouldn't buy blocks of cheese. Proud to be from Minnesota, where we feed kids for free at school, though. Yeah, you're going to get mad at kids having the government cheese? Speaking of which, I should feed my dog. Hey, buddy. Here's your dinner. I'll throw some carrots to you here in a bit, bud. Imagine Nicolas Cage and him saying, not the peas. I've had the government cheese and it is far better than Kraft singles. Have you now? I think this is coming along pretty well, honestly. You can see that a lot of the moisture is starting to be absorbed, which I'm happy about. Go ahead, bud. Eat your food. We need to get bigger tongs. Those are actually giant tongs, and those aren't shrimp, they're lobster tails. Kimball's just a giant. Are these big enough? I mean, they're the size of the pan. I already grabbed the first ones I could get, and I hate making extra dishes. Oh my. That's what she said. Ain't much, but it's honest work. Yes. All right, let's get the back. The nice thing about these made-in pans, not sponsored, not an ad, but I just like these pans. I wish they'd sponsor me, is that they have really, really strong, what's the word? God, I just thought of it. The heat goes everywhere. It doesn't just stick to one place usually. My brain has not been working this weekend. You'll have to forgive me for being stupid, but you already knew that if you were watching. Heat retention. Not heat retention. Heat dispersal. It disperses the heat across the entire pan. Heat retention would just be how long it stays hot. But I mean, it does that too. That just wasn't what I was looking for, but you're not wrong. It does have that. It's like pizza seal for your stovetop. Yes. Your voice reminds me of a mix between Hank Hill and Will Ferrell. I mean, I assume that's a compliment. I've never been told that. Would you say that that's what I sound like, Grant? Hi, buddy. Okay. Oh my God, your dog is gorgeous. Hi, puppy. Will Ferrell, maybe, but you have zero Southern in your accent minus a few words. Give the boy a treat. Give him all the treats. Okay, we can do Skipper treat time. Hey, buddy. The people would like you to get some carrots. So, can you wipe your mouth? All right. All right, Skipper. You ready? Good boy. All right, the next ones you have to do a treat for. Where are you going? Wow, you're taking your time with this one. You normally eat these much quicker. Hey, touch. Good boy. Sit. Come on, I got two. Sit. Shake. Shake. Come on. Up. Yeah, good boy. All right. One more. All right. Sit. Come on. Sit. Sit. Who's there? Good boy. Can you down? Down? Good boy. Oh, you almost got there. You have a basic American accent. Thank you. I love him. This is the best dream I've had all day. Good boy. All right, bud. Here you go. Here's the last one. This is my 5-year-old Great Pyrenees Skipper. Everyone seems to think he's a girl, but he's a guy. And he's a good boy. He's very tired. We went to the dog park yesterday, and so he usually has to take a day to, like, get his energy back. Plus, my wife left to go visit her parents, so I think he's partially, like, upset about that. Okay, so let's see what the desired doneness of the rice is. Pretty darn close. Actually, one of the best dogs I've had the pleasure of meeting. 10 out of 10 pup right there. It's okay. My hoser Canadian accent comes out occasionally. I have the best accent. It's from Minnesota, and we are the best. You're off pro Minnesota. I remember you really liking our barbecue. You never have anything to say about that? This is pretty much almost done. We just got to get this last little bit of liquid absorbed. And we are ready to munch. Sorry, I'm also doing dishes at the same time. Try and minimize the amount of stuff I'm going to have to do later. Minnesota. Y'all sound more like hosers than we do. I kid. Yes, my O's and my A's are very pronounced. Hey, we're starting to get a little bit of crispy bits on the bottom. I am so excited for this. I can't even tell you. I am ready to eat. As soon as I stop dropping things on me. Are you throwing a party while the wife is gone? And can I come by for the rager? What is a hoser? Hoser is like a pejorative mocking term for Canadians. Grant, you live in Minnesota and you've never heard of a hoser? So, for the people who don't know me well, me and my wife like constantly poke fun at each other and do things that we think are funny, but other people may think is that's mean, but it's done in a loving way. The other day, my wife said she really wanted a cookie cake from the store. She really thought about it, and I said, "You could have." And she's like, "Yeah, I know. Maybe I'll go back and get one." She did not go back and get one. And that was, I don't know, 2, 3 days ago. She's like, "We couldn't finish it before we get here." So I today told her, "Hey, guess what I'm making for dinner?" And then I told her, I was like, and then for dessert, she's like, "Are you making something I like?" And I go, "Oh, I'm making something you love." And I said, "Cookie cake." And she's like, why'd you do this when I left?" And I go, "What can I say?" And then I sent her this. "Sucks for you." Just because I thought it would be funny. Oh, in America, why would I pay attention to anything outside of the greatest country in the world? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's typical American here. Well, honestly, a great marriage. Yeah. W husband. Yeah, I thought it was really funny. She called me when she went. I cracked up when I saw that, and I was like, "Okay, good." All right, I'm gonna call this because I can tell that we're getting crispy down there. I really just don't want it to burn. There's minimal liquid here, and I think for the most part, the liquid is going to absorb as it sits for a little bit. Yeah, I think this is done. I figure my accent is a superpower if I ever travel overseas, because I mean, I can tell people I'm Canadian and they'll leave me and not hate me. I mean, until they talk to you, and then they'll hate you for different reasons. I'm kidding. I mean, this looks really good. All right. Let me get a good couple of pictures. All right. Moment of truth. All right. We got some crispy bits. They just are not sticking together. It's not burnt. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, we got some. It's just, I thought it would be a little bit more attached. Okay, I need to fix this and make it look prettier. Not burnt, Major W. Looks awesome. Looks amazing, but the peas. You wound me. Kitty, it's the little kitty. Oh my god, my kitty. The Chico is currently napping on my bed. Yes, that's my wife's cat, Lily. It is 15 or 16. She had that before I met her. We had another one, and he's no longer with us, unfortunately. But she's quite old. Grant is particularly fond of her. I feel like this is missing on the side. All right, let me get the lemons. How do we think that looks? Oh, sweet little old lady baby. My cat is turning 16 months. It's true. She's a good one. Yeah. I'm surprised, honestly, that she keeps getting, like, every time we take her to a checkup, it's like, no, she's doing good. But she's been having a lot of issues with, like, peeing in the wrong places and, like, she's got cat dementia. So, like, she'll come running down meowing like she doesn't know where she is until someone's like, hey, we're right here. And then she's like, oh, okay. But it's totally fine. Okay, there's not enough chicken. Let's get some chicken in here. Let's see what's a good piece of chicken. Do you think this would benefit from a little bit of fresh parsley on the top for color? What's everyone's opinion on that? Wow, Morgan really carries the plating. If you had flat leaf parsley, that would also look good on it. Yes. Chop up some parsley. I don't have flat leaf, but I have curly. Let me chop this up real quick. And yes, I'm fully aware that Morgan carries the plating. She also takes the better pictures, but we're all gonna have to suffer this week. Okay. A little too much here, here, and here. Does that look better? Parsley does add a nice dish of freshness. Garnish for the sake of visuals is unnecessary. Preach. Garnish should complement the dish flavor-wise or texture-wise and aesthetically. I don't have food tweezers, though. I ain't that fancy. I bought a 5-pack, 3 small ones and 2 giant ones. And honestly, I've used them more than you think I would. It's because I have giant fingers, and having something small to grab little tiny things is better. Are those cooking tweezers? I am judging. Yes, I have 5 pairs of them. Not this kind. They all have different grips. So, like, this is your standard. There's some that are, like, pointy at the, or, like, curve at the end, and then there's another one that's, like, for getting around things. And then I have 2 giant ones that are, like, that long. Not bad for, like, $12. I googled what to garnish paella with. Yeah, wait to have the sausage fingers. That's valid. Yeah. The garnish for visuals makes sense since I'm trying to use the finished product and how it looks as a picture for both Instagram and for the VOD picture. So my goal is to make it look pretty because I already know it tastes good. Okay. I've got a handful of pictures. Let's eat. Let's find out if I did good or if I'm did bad. Let's try a crispy bit. Holy moly. That is a flavor bomb. A little bit of acid won't hurt. Parsley is good though for it. It's a bonus that it looks pretty. I just mean when people add dumb things like edible flowers because I don't like eating flowers. Oh no, I 100% agree with that. That's dumb. Eating flowers, yeah, not a fan of that. But this, oh my gosh, it's like an amped up risotto. It's so good. Oh my gosh. You get a heavy chicken flavor, but it's almost kind of creamy. Hmm. You can't taste the peas, but they do add a little bit of vegetables. Stop licking your butthole. Stop it. The shrimp is perfectly cooked. You can get the crispy bits. Mm. I do wish it had crisped up a little bit more. And maybe if I can find Bamba rice, it'll do a little bit better. Mm. Let's see how the chicken did. Chicken's not bad. Like I said earlier, not a huge fan of chicken thighs, but it's got really good flavor. It's juicy. It's not overcooked, which I mean that's the whole point of chicken thighs. When you get the crispy bits on the bottom, though, it's like a special surprise. This is addicting. Hmm. This is well worth the effort of like babysitting it for an hour and a half. Because the onions have like a nice sweetness, but it's not like overpowering. Mm. W looks fantastic. Thank you. W meal. Yeah, Bombas will absorb more liquid. Arborio stays creamy. I kind of like the creaminess, honestly. I just had a risotto not that long ago, and I made a rice pilaf. And Very reminiscent. I mean, anytime you cook a rice in a stock and it gets starchy and creamy, it's delicious. But this just has so much built-in flavor. I can see why people buy paella pans, because I could get used to this. It would also be extremely difficult to make like a double batch of this, because if you're trying to get that crunchy bottom, you're really limited by the size of your pan. Because I think my problem is this is the biggest pan I have, at least width, but because of the curve, we're losing out on surface area on the bottom, which could have made more crispy bits. I can't think of the word for it. I think it's Socrates. Not like the Socrates, the person. Socrates. It's SOCC something. Anyway, I think having a larger 12 to 16 inch pan with a bottom, you'd get so much more crispy. Plus, I think it would absorb the water or the liquid more because it would be shallower. I think we kind of had to fight with it being a bit taller. But I mean, by no means am I upset with this at all. Sorry. If I can find bomba at my next grocery store visit, I'll send some to you. I remember buying it years ago. Thoughts on the peas? WL. Traditionally, paella pans are very flat bottom with a wider diameter. So crates from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yes, that one. It's a very similar word. If you look up crunchy paella bottom, they'll tell you what the word is. I just can't remember it. Socrates. Yeah. Socrates. I was going to mispronounce it regardless. Not on purpose. It's just a habit. I'm bad at pronouncing things. My parents used to get on me because I'm very phonetic. Sauerkraut is the essential layer of crunchy toasted rice at the bottom of the pan when you cook it. The paella is just right. Yes. Sauerkraut. Yeah. Socrates. Okay, it's close, and you could see why I remember one versus the other. One I had classes on, the other one I read about for about 3 hours before I made this. How can I get some heat in this? What kind of peppers could I add to this during the beginning, the sofrito? Could probably do something habanero. I don't know. I think that would kind of mess with the flavor profile a little bit. Jalapeno, probably. I'm sure there's quite a few others that would make sense in this. Cayenne would be good. This is the man who says ketchup and almond. It's ketchup and almond. Nobody says catsup. Grant, you're just trolling. But yeah, cayenne peppers would work. Or you could just go with some cayenne spice. Or heck, even some red pepper flakes probably wouldn't go amiss. It's pretty common to make a version of this with chorizo in it. And chorizo, generally, you can get spicy versions of that, and that would be solid. Okay. We have demolished this meal. It has been a success. I think we're going to call the stream here. I would put cayenne in when seasoning with the rest of the powder seasonings. Yeah, that's probably a good idea because we just added saffron and sweet paprika. It leaves a lot of room to try some other things. So cayenne would be good there. And honestly, it wouldn't hurt with a little bit more pepper because it's really more salt than anything. You can add pepper at the end, but I just feel more comfortable adding pepper as we go. Let it kind of cook it. I'm a big pepper fiend. Anyway, I am going to call the stream here. You should add a Mexican classic like Tapatio. Paella isn't Mexican, though. It's Spanish. You'd have to look up a Spanish, like hot sauce. But this was a very successful Sunday stream. I do plan on streaming tomorrow, doing roast beef, gravy, and mashed potatoes, and maybe asparagus. I haven't decided if I want to do the asparagus for that or use it for a quiche for like breakfast. So that'll be kind of a game day plan. I do appreciate everyone who hung out, watched, chatted. I really appreciate the guys who chat. And especially the lurkers as well. And if you did enjoy, please throw me a follow. Support's always appreciated. Check out the Instagram for pictures on all the other stuff we've done or the VODs. It's great hanging out with you guys. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, or if not, one of the other streams this week. I am going to go find somebody to raid, so just hold on for a minute. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. But yeah, we're gonna find someone to raid, and then hopefully we'll all see you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and if you guys have Memorial Day off, please enjoy that and relax.